Alright guys, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you my recap / review of Game Week 2 in Fantasy Premier League. Last week I did pretty good, above average, got a nice rank. Let's see if I improve this week. Now, my rank won't actually be exactly what it is now because I am filming this just before the two last games on the Monday night of, I believe, Aston Villa versus Sheffield United and Manchester City versus Wolves. Reason that I'm not waiting till after then is because I don't have any players from their teams. So, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at how my team did and a few notes on who I may be looking to move on, or maybe I won't be looking to move on. Maybe I will be happy with how my team did. And, spoiler alert, as you guys can see on the overlay, I was quite happy with how my team did. If you guys do enjoy these FPL reviews and previews as well, please be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below to how your team did and what you're thinking of doing in preparation for Game Week 3 as well. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for more Fantasy Premier League content. And also the league code to join the BusterBarnes official Fantasy Premier League is at the top of the screen. I'm not sure if, when you join the league, if you start from 0, if your points carry over. So, yeah, I'm not sure how that works, but it would be great to get more numbers into the league as well, just for a bit of fun. And hey, if you can win the league from going to 0 after Game Week 3, then, you've got some pretty major credit in my book. But without further ado, let's get into how my team did. And as you can see, we've got 88 points, which is currently 48 points above the average. Now, I am expecting to probably stay above the average. I think I can comfortably say that the average won't go up by 40 points with only 2 games remaining. However, I will definitely be going down a bit, and my rank probably won't be 26k by the end of today, as the average is bound to go up by, at the very least, 2 or 3 points. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes. But a quick note, going player by player in our team, McCarthy, 0 points. Now, Matt Ryan actually got a clean sheet for Brighton, so maybe, the Ryan owners have a bit of a one-up on us McCarthy owners. But, it is early in the season, and he is going to be still my set and forget option. I do think that Southampton are going to, pick things up and do quite well. They actually probably were quite unlucky not to get a point against Tottenham. Just so, quality finishing by Heung-min Son, who I'll get onto in a bit. Unfortunately, just buried them deep in the mud, and they were not able to, come back in that game. Alexander-Arnold's getting 7 points with a bonus point. Unfortunately, obviously, when Liverpool beat Chelsea, and I want to sit here and be happy, but obviously Chelsea, the team that I support, and we did unfortunately lose the game. But I suppose at least having Alexander-Arnold get the clean sheet is something. Maybe it's a bit of a positive, I'm not too sure. Everyone owns him in the game anyway, so his points probably wouldn't have affected me too much. But moving on to the defence, we have Justin, who did pick up a goal for Leicester, and he's proved to be a pretty good bargain signing. I'm not sure if he'll be in my team much longer, just because with Pereira eventually coming back, I'm not too sure out of him and Castagna, who I believe Castagna got more points, so I'm not too sure which one of those two is going to stay in the team. Probably Castagna will, so Justin will probably have to move on. But he's doing quite well for me at the moment, guys, and 7 points, and I believe he got the clean sheet and the assist the week before. So yeah, he's proved to be a decent signing for me, and I probably will be keeping him next week. I'm not too sure with the Manchester City fixture looming. I guess we'll see how Man City do later against Wolves, or you guys would have already seen, and I would already have seen as well by the time this video goes up. Moving on to Mitchell, didn't keep a clean sheet, but got an FPL assist to, I believe, one of Zaha's goals. And again, another player who's proving to be a little, good budget option. Again, when Van Aanholt comes back, Mitchell probably won't feature that much. But, there is Ferguson, who will be coming into the team eventually after his injury. So a nice swap between those two could be good. I'm hoping that Mitchell's price goes up a little bit more, so then when I sell him, I can maybe get a 0.1 back, which would be very nice. Midfielders, starting with Salah. Good thing not to captain him. Only got 3 points against Chelsea. I didn't think that Salah, he doesn't seem to necessarily perform that great in big games, so I thought that him against Chelsea, there was the chance that he would blank, which is actually what happens, to get the clean sheet point, but I am glad I didn't captain him. Saint Maximin, probably the biggest disappointment. He's obviously got that yellow bar, came off, I believe, 33 minutes into Newcastle's game against Brighton, which Newcastle eventually did lose 3-0. I might have to look to get rid of him. It depends. He's obviously only got a yellow bar, and there is a chance that, if I make another transfer, I can, maybe play a 4 at the back and say Maximan can be on the bench for a week. So I'm going to have to look into that one, guys. But yeah, quite disappointing that he came off with an injury, especially when he's got Wilson and Fraser as well to sort of make Newcastle's attack a little bit more promising looking. But yeah, not great from him. But the number one points tallier for this week for me was Heung-min Son, and I believe I said last time in my preview for Game Week 2 that I wasn't going to get rid of Son for a United player because I thought that Tottenham would have something to prove after the Everton game, and we couldn't, bag on, United doing well because it was their first game of the season, and I seem to at least be correct in that aspect because Son scored 4 goals, all assisted by Harry Kane as well when Tottenham beat Southampton 5-2. And I don't think anyone was expecting this, to be honest. And, I'm just going to keep Son, for the moment. Son, Tottenham have some good fixtures. And I believe they have Newcastle next at home as well. So maybe we see Tottenham pick up some more goals. Obviously, Gareth Bale as well was signed for Spurs. But he probably won't feature for a few more weeks still to come. But, great from Son. Kind of wish I captained him, but I never was going to, so I can't be too disappointed. Moving on to my captain, Aubameyang, 10 points. Obviously, he got originally 5 points with the assist in the game when Arsenal, luckily perhaps, beat West Ham 2-1. Captain getting an assist, it's fine. It's better than him getting nothing, so I can't be too disappointed with that. Obviously, looking at some of my other point scorers, maybe I could have been a bit riskier with my captain selection, but when it's this early on in Fantasy Premier League, I don't want to be taking too many risks. So, fair play to Aubameyang. I probably am going to keep him for the Liverpool game because Arsenal did beat Liverpool last season, and I do think they have a bit more of a threat away from home than they did for, say, a lot before Arteta came in. So I'm probably not going to get rid of Aubameyang yet, but obviously those Manchester City assets are looking tempting, and maybe my opinion will change depending on how they do against Wolves. Just a quick note on that though, guys, I'm not too sure how well City will do. It is their first game of the Premier League season, and this is the same for United, who lost, for Burnley, who lost, and we'll see Aston Villa later on. It seems a little bit unfair that these teams are having to start in the second week because loads of the other Premier League teams already have a competitive game under their belt, which really is used as sort of a pre-season game for them to gain fitness. So not too great for those teams having to start the league a bit late. It's just teams like Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal all having a bit of an advantage with pre-season. So that's just a bit of a note. You guys can discuss that with me down in the comments below if you so wish. What your guys' thoughts are on the league, starting at different points for these teams. I personally think the Premier League should have just been pushed back a week so everyone started on the same time. But hey, we can't complain, and maybe if that happens, I wouldn't be doing so well in the first 2 weeks anyway, so, I don't want to complain too much. But getting on to my strike force, we do have Calvert-Lewin, who scored a hat-trick in Everton's 5-2 win against West Brom. Goals galore, guys, in these games this weekend and the weekend before. So many goals, barely any clean sheets. Calvert-Lewin picking up the 3 goals and 3 bonus points. I was a bit, sceptical of taking out Ings for Calvert-Lewin because I didn't want to make a transfer so hastily when I'd built my, team for a reason before Game Week 1. But I took the risk and it paid off. Ings did, to be fair, still get 2 goals, but he didn't get any bonus points, so this did still prove to be the right decision. And I always did think that Ings could potentially return against Spurs as well. But Calvert-Lewin, proving to be a very wise transfer indeed. And Everton's fixtures still do look quite good. If we have a look here, they have some decent games. I believe their next game is against Crystal Palace, who have looked good, to be fair, but how long can they keep it up? Brighton at home, Liverpool at home, they'll be up for that game. Southampton away. Some decent games for Everton, and under Carlo Ancelotti and with James Rodriguez, with the added quality they've got, some of these games that look a bit tougher maybe could still prove to be decent in terms of attacking returns for the Toffees. So moving on, we've got Mitrovic, and I actually watched this game from Leeds against Fulham. 4-3, another high-scoring game. Mitrovic with a penalty and with a header. Really just looks like the type of player that's going to sort of, not necessarily play great, but he is going to pick up goals. He did better than I expected. Not too sure how convinced I was by his overall performance, but I obviously can't sell him after, getting 2 goals. He's got Villa at home next as well, Wolves away, Sheffield away. Some sort of tough fixtures, but hoping that he can maybe pick up a goal for Fulham in those games, but we'll see. I'm not too sure how long he's going to be in my team. I obviously did talk about the other options around the 6.5 million who I'm looking at as well, so I guess we'll see what happens with Mitrovic looking forward. Timo Werner, I didn't captain him for obvious reasons. We were obviously against the champions in our second game of the season, and this is his second game in the Premier League. He's doing all the right things, guys. He's making runs, he's looking dangerous, making dribbles. He did win a penalty as well, so could have got an assist, but unfortunately Jorginho could not put that penalty away. As you guys, saw my reaction to that in my review for Chelsea versus Liverpool, which you can click the link to see if you are so interested. But I'm not too interested myself in getting rid of Werner at this point. We have West Brom away next, then we have Crystal Palace at home, and I believe Southampton at home as well. So those are 3 fixtures which Werner could really sink his teeth into and get some attacking returns. So whilst other assets look a bit tempting, maybe a Jesus depending on how City do, maybe a Martial if Manchester United pick up some fitness a bit, I will be sticking with Werner for the next few weeks, I do believe. Not too much to say on the bench. It will be interesting to see if Vinagre actually starts against City. That could, prove to be interesting and if I get rid of him or not. I am probably thinking of getting rid of Vinagre first, even if it means keeping St. Maximin. I can always have Mitchell playing and have my replacement for Vinagre playing as well and put St. Maximin on the bench. I do think that Mitchell, there is a chance that he will start Palace's next game at least, so hopefully that can be the case and he can get some points for me next week if that does so happen. Nyland, maybe he'll start for Aston Villa, but they do have Martinez, so Martinez will probably start that game. Reed's picking up the standard 2 points. Johnson not seeming to start for West Ham. I did think he might have been in contention to start for West Ham, but it seems that Fredericks is the preferred option. So maybe if I do a wild card at some point, I can pick a better 4 million option than him. But I'm not too worried. He's my 3rd sub anyway. He's never really going to have to come on. But yeah, guys, looking at the game, some other standout moments. Brighton, obviously, picking up the 3 points with the 3-0 win. Maupay looking good, and it'll be interesting to see if Brighton can continue their form. They do have some, interesting games coming up soon. They have Manchester United at home, which United didn't look too good. They have Everton away. So I'm not too sure if I'd be necessarily looking at Brighton assets right now. Leicester, they did look good. They picked up the 4 goals. However, their XG was only below 1. So were they a bit lucky maybe? I'm not too sure. Burnley, though, getting some attacking returns as well. Taylor starting, Peters starting as well, so 2 decent 4.5 million options there. I could potentially be looking at bringing one of those 2 in as well. And, other notes, Crystal Palace, Zaha, can he keep that up though? He's a bit inconsistent. We shall soon find out. But yeah, guys, that is how my team did. Please let me know how your guys' team did as well in the comments below. Hopefully, Man City, Wolves, Aston Villa and Sheffield United assets don't do too well, so my rank doesn't differ too much. Hopefully, I should still be, around that 100k mark by the end of this week, which will still be an improvement from last week as well, and be an improvement from my overall rank last week. However, as we all know, it is very early in the season and everything can change. So be sure to stay tuned, guys, for my preview of Game Week 3, where I will be talking about the Manchester City Wolves and the Sheffield United Aston Villa games as well, and maybe speaking on their assets a bit. I'll also be showing you guys what transfer I make, or if I do make a transfer as well, so stay tuned for that, and subscribe for more Fantasy Premier League content, as well as other videos such as FIFA, Chelsea videos and general footballing videos as well. We've been growing a bit recently, guys, so it would be great for that to continue. All your support is greatly appreciated. Hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you next time.